This year, 2020, has already been a crazy roller coaster ride, and we're just over halfway through. I remember the beginning of the year with the bushfires. We saw some of the greatest acts of humanity. Literally people giving of themselves. The firefighters, the volunteers, people opening their pantries to give all their supplies that they can to those affected by the bushfires. We then saw some really ugly acts, people being selfish and stocking up and not caring about those vulnerable, when it came to the panic buying. And as the years progressed, as the pandemics got worse and worse, again, humanity is being challenged. People judging each other. You are wearing a mask, you're not wearing a mask. And as the financial situation gets worse and worse, we're going to continue to be challenged. People are losing their jobs, people are struggling, people are needing assistance. There's more and more people suffering. They're losing their jobs, they cannot afford to pay for their bills, their basic expenses. And so it's going to require all those in a position to assist to really step up. If you are in a privileged position, if you are blessed to have extra, to try your best to assist others. Judaism tells us about the great concept of chesed, of kindness, of tzedakah, of helping, of being righteous to assist another human being. But there's a very fundamental message which I think we all need to listen to, especially if you're in a position to go and help another person, that comes from our parsha this week. The Torah tells us, of course, to give tzedakah, to help those less fortunate, but it says interesting words. It says, give the other person dei machsaro asher yechsalo. Give the other person that which is lacking to them. Now, there are different explanations about this. Some say you've got to, in a sense, give them in relation to what they had lost and so on. But I think there's another way of looking at it. Dei machsaro asher yechsar. What has been lacking? What are they lacking? Lo, themselves. They may feel so ashamed. They may feel so that they've lost their dignity because they can't afford to pay for things. They've lost their job. That they may feel that they themselves are not whole. They may not feel like a mensch anymore. And so we have to be so sensitive when we help another person to recognize that they may not feel good about it. They may feel ashamed that they're asking for help, that they need help. Now, of course, I could say this 1,000,000 times over and mean it genuine from the heart, that a person who needs help should never feel ashamed, should never feel that there's something wrong if you need to ask for assistance. It happens to anybody. Anything can happen to anyone. There are times when we all need assistance. But even with saying that, there are going to be people who might feel this way. And so when you give, remember, hold on, this person might not feel good about this. Let me use words of encouragement. Let me use words of support. Make the person feel good about the fact that they may need to get help. Don't make them feel low about themselves. Don't make them feel like you're doing them a major favor. Because sometimes equally, and if not more important than the actual money that you're giving to the other person, is how you treat them. It's their emotional support, their emotional connection. In fact, that's why the Torah does say that the greatest level of tzedakah is really lifting up the dignity of the other person. For example, not knowing that they don't know that you're giving it to them, you don't know where you're giving their money to, giving them a job and so on. But if you do have to engage with the person, if you do have to meet the person and give them the help, remember these words of the Torah from this week's Parsha, Parshat Reeh. Asher yechsalo, what's lacking? They might feel inadequate. It's your job not just to give them money, to make sure that you make them feel comfortable. Hopefully we listen to this, because as I said, unfortunately right now in our society, things are going to get tougher and tougher. The economy is getting hit, and there's going to be more and more people needing help. And so if you can provide that emotional support, that caring, listening ear, make them feel good about themselves, that is the greatest level of tzedakah. Hopefully we can all assist where we can. Hopefully those who are struggling, reach out, ask for help. As I said, hopefully you don't feel ashamed. But if you do feel ashamed, I'm hoping the person who does assist you will make you feel encouraged and supported, and hopefully we'll all be blessed with health and parnassah, livelihood, and hopefully get through this crisis as quickly and painlessly as possible, and of course be blessed with the ultimate redemption, the coming of Mashiach. Shabbat Shalom, and a wonderful weekend ahead.